Welcome to Blowing Solutions Wide Open, where we talk about all things spiritual as well as creating new systems in the areas of finance, government, healthcare, education, and new environmental practices. My name is Addie Halkin. Thank you for joining me. And if you think that you have any ideas or any stories to share in those areas that I just mentioned, please feel free to email me at blowingsolutionswideopen@gmail.com. Or you can just drop the word guest in the comment section of this video, and I'd be happy to reach out to you and see if it's a good fit. Love to hear your ideas. And also, if there's areas that I didn't mention that you feel like we could really talk about around creating new, better ways in our world, please feel free to reach out to me with that. I'm definitely open, and let's get to it. So I wanted to talk to you about something that I saw yesterday. I was on my phone, and on my feed there was a podcast from Joe Rogan, and it caught my eye because it featured Robert Kenedy Jr. And I haven't seen as much as that I've wanted to from him, and I think that's due to the fact that our mainstream media, they're doing what they always do. They're not giving much airtime to the independents. So if you're unfamiliar, Robert Kennedy Jr. is running as an independent this year for a presidential candidate. And when they do give him airtime, they're rude and snide and interruptive, and same old thing we've seen always when it comes to independence. Mainstream media really only wants the Democrat and the Republican parties to be represented. Um, yeah, nothing surprising, but I was really grateful to see how much airtime that Robert Kennedy actually got. Um, it was really something that I enjoyed watching. Um, if you're not familiar with him, he does speak and he has kind of a rough tone to his voice. I remember when I first saw him, I thought, is he okay? Is he sick? And then I found out that he has had a vaccine injury, and that's why he sounds the way he does. And he basically has been, most of it, well, since he was a kid, he's been involved in politics because we know what happened to his dad and his uncle. Despite the narrative that we were, given, we know that they both were taken out by the industry. And so he's very familiar with the way things operate, on this planet, in this country. Um, he also spent a lot of his life as a lawyer, and he did a lot of, going after companies that were destroying our environment. He did a lot of fighting for children around, the overuse of vaccines. Um, and so this guy, for at least for me, really aligns with the way that I feel. I think, I mean, the narrative that the news has put out about him is that he's a crazy kook, crazy conspirator, blah, blah, blah. This is what they do. But I can tell you from watching what I watched for 3 hours yesterday, there is nothing crazy about him. He is honestly far more rational than I am. He backed everything he set up pretty much with facts and experience, and it was pretty impressive. He's clearly done a lot of work. And one of the things that stood out to me in that interview is that he talked about how whenever he's gone to debate somebody, they don't show up. And I don't think that's any kind of accident. I think it's because people know that they can't beat him. He's got too much factual, experiential information. People can't beat him. And so to me, it's a no-brainer as far as who I'm going to be voting for. Would I rather have a tyrant that doesn't give a crap about anyone, or, a candidate that follows all the instructions from the elites? Or would I rather have, somebody who thinks for himself, who's been involved with the industry since he was a kid, who has, lived everything he talks about, and who sees things clearly. He sees things clearly. And not only that, another thing that I was very impressed with is he said, I'm not a closed-minded person. If you think that I'm wrong on something, that's fine. Show me why. And so we're not dealing with a dictator. We're dealing with somebody who can back up everything he says and is diplomatic. And I don't know. I wanted to talk about this because I thought, well, what a perfect solution, at least for now, to the governmental system that nobody's happy with, that is, just been running as a tyrannical lie forever, and we're all sick of it, and it's not working for any of us anymore. And um this guy is nothing like anything that we've ever had in office. And I think that if we can quietly and steadily start turning our attention towards the candidate that we want rather than the lesser of two evils. Because when you do the lesser of two evils, what you're doing energetically is you're saying, I just don't want that other person. You're basically just almost like pushing back against what you don't want, but you're not really voting for what you want. And so I think this is a perfect candidate to vote for what we want, which is, equivalent to moving things forward. And I don't know if this race is going to be fair. I'm sure most of them haven't. I'm sure most of them have been rigged. I don't know for sure. I'm just saying, given the way everything else has operated on this planet, especially in this country, um, we don't know if this is going to be a fair race, but if there's any chance, now is the time. Start moving towards the candidate you want. If you can find, look, I reached a place at one point where I realized, would I rather be happy or would I rather be right? This is back when I actually thought one party was better than the other. I kind of laughed because that's just insane at this point. Um, and I realized, when somebody kind of challenged my beliefs on that stuff, I realized, all right, I'll look into what this person's saying. And I started to look into what they were saying about, both parties are run by the same people, and, they don't really care. They don't really care what side you get on. They just want you on one side or the other. And when I started to look into it, I felt the resonance. I thought, oh no, I actually think that this actually could be what's going on. But I was fighting with, my old beliefs around, well, this party's better than this party. And I thought to myself, okay, wait a minute. Is this just about not wanting to really, we don't like to be wrong. We don't necessarily always like to change our opinions. And when I asked myself the question, would I rather be happy or would I rather be right? I realized I'd rather be happy. It's not that important to me to be right. And so I just, kind of put that out there. If you are struggling and you do feel like, well, I still think that this party is better than that party, so I'm going to vote based on that. Would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? You know, what a message we would send if we actually got an independent in there, a person who's not bought, who's not, going to cower to those who've been running the show. What a message that would send. That would be a huge win in this ascension that we are starting to make and have been making as a humanity, around having a better world, around changing things, around being in charge of our own lives. I mean, to me, this ascension and this period of time is really about saying, no, this is our life. You don't get to control that. And so, we send a candidate in there like Robert Kenedy Jr., and it sends an incredible message to the world, to ourselves, and to the powers that be. And I don't know. I think it was an incredible 3 hours that I watched. I encourage you to go watch it. I know that's a long time, but I think you will at minimum see that this guy is not a crazy kook like the media has been putting it out, that he is. And That's the power of podcasting. That's the power of new technology. It's great to finally see things shifting. I don't know if it's gonna, go through to the actual election period. I don't know if it's gonna be powerful enough to push a new candidate that's not a Republican or a Democrat, but I sure hope so. And so that's kind of what I wanted to come on and say today. Um, there are new things opening up. I hope that you support that. I hope that you can, start to open your mind up and really pay attention to what, Robert Kennedy Jr. is saying. And more importantly, for me, it's about the feeling of him. And you can just see when he's talking that he is full of compassion. He has been fighting the good fight. He doesn't have to do all this. He's got plenty of money, but he, like so many of us, wants to see change on this planet and wants to see, you know, the light and the goodness win. And so I think that he is an incredible solution to, at least for now, what we've been dealing with government. Anyhow, that's all I have to say. And I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll catch you on another episode. Take care.